258. Newsbreak, brought to you by National Mutual.
Good evening, I'm Peter Hitchener. A 4-year-old boy died in a house fire in Sydney's south this evening. A man also suffered extensive burns to his hands and arms in the fire at the semi-detached home at Carlton. The fire brigade took just 10 minutes to bring the blaze under control before discovering the boy's body. Police have charged a 21-year-old man after a hit-run accident in the Sydney suburb of Chipping Norton, in which a teenager was killed and 4 others injured. And a 6.5-hour siege at a motel in Budrum, north of Brisbane, has ended with the deaths of 2 people. Police were called after reports of shots being fired at the motel this afternoon. Melbourne merchant banker Michael Kroger has resisted intense pressure and is refusing to stand in the blue ribbon Liberal seat of Kooyong, vacated by Andrew Peacock.
For the Liberal Party, the saga of finding a replacement for Andrew Peacock drags on. The man party chieftains want, Michael Kroger,
talk to some people here and we'll resolve it today.
Was joined at Victorian Party headquarters by senior Liberals, including Premier Jeff Kennett and Senator Richard Alston. Afterwards, Mr Kennett wasn't giving anything away.
Never on Sunday.
Never on Sundays?
With Michael Kroger out, this man would be the probable front-runner for Kooyong, Melbourne lawyer Gerald Ryan. But all he wanted to talk about today was a visit to the show.
Got good show bags and had a great time with the kids.
Peter Harvey, Canberra.
Meanwhile, South Australian opposition leader Lynn Arnold has announced his retirement from politics. The former Labor Premier says he'll finish up next Wednesday to undertake language studies in Spain. Mr Arnold has endorsed his deputy Mike Rann to take over as opposition leader. Former United States President Jimmy Carter has held more talks with Haiti's military leaders to try to convince them to surrender. Mr Carter is leading a delegation that's attempting to peacefully restore democracy on the Caribbean island. Anonymous officials say the 2 sides are drafting an agreement as US warships wait offshore to carry out an invasion. Canberra will take on Canterbury in next weekend's league final after defeating Norths today. Almost 42,000 people watched the Raiders end North Sydney's season 22-9, the Canberra side scoring 4 tries. In AFL, Melbourne today knocked Footscray out of the finals race. Next week, the Demons take on the West Coast in Perth and Geelong meets North Melbourne. And Scotland's Colin McRae is winning Rally Australia, ahead of race favourite Juha Kankkunen of Finland and Sweden's Kenneth Eriksson. Ross Dunkerton is the leading Australian competitor. Finally, tomorrow's weather outlook: fine in Perth, Brisbane, Darwin and Canberra, showers in Melbourne, Adelaide and Hobart, and dry in Sydney. We leave you with the veterans who've returned to the Dutch town of Arnhem, the scene of an ill-fated Allied attempt to defend a bridge during World War II. Good night.
This has been a National 9 News presentation.
Still the one, Sydney's Channel 9.
This program is proudly brought to you by Neutrogena and the new 104.1 Today FM. The following program is classified M. The 9 Network recommends viewing by mature audiences. It contains strong sex scenes, violence and coarse language.